Hi, thanks for joining us today. We are out actually helping on some SkyNav projects around the country, but we wanted to put this live presentation together and record it so that you would actually be able to, one, meet us, and two, see this amazing opportunity that we have put together for your communities. My name is Chris Colin. I am the Business Development Director at SkyNav, and this is the CEO and founder, Ty Downey.
Thanks, Chris. Hey, man, I'm excited to be here. Good to be here with you too, buddy.
Thanks, man. During this presentation, we are going to be showing you guys quite a few things. The main ones that we want to talk about, we are going to be showing you how you can replace your ordinary map forever. You will not need a map of your community any longer. This will be able to replace it. We'd also like to show you how you can replace your conventional website with a stunning 360-degree virtual reality tour that literally turns your entire community into its own immersive marketing tool. Last but not least, we want to talk to you a little bit about why so many of the top 50 master plan communities around the country are actually beginning to use SkyNav as part of their marketing and planning for the future. So, before we get started, I wanted to actually let Ty kind of talk to you a little bit about how SkyNav came about.
Well, this is a great story. So, as some of you might know, I also own a digital marketing agency here on the East Coast. And we've always, as you should be, trying to keep up on top of the latest, and especially in marketing. Things change so fast. So our agency looked into, we heard wind of this product called Google Business Photos.
Yep.
It was actually launched in Europe, kind of like a pilot program. And basically it was 360 imagery of taking like the street view car, and bringing it inside of your business. So as that evolved, we were able to apply. We got approval for some of our employees. 2 months of training, virtual training. They're from Mountain View, California. We got approved. We were one of the first on the East Coast to actually utilize this new technology from Google. But obviously, after a while, the market got saturated. So we wanted to sit around and think about what could we do next that Google's not.
Right.
And we thought, how cool would it be if we took this technology from the ground and brought it to the sky? Because nobody was doing that. So we invested in drones. We don't look at those as toys, but we looked at that as a tool to bring an immersive marketing product to the market.
Right.
And man, I tell you what, it's been an amazing ride, because that's how SkyNav was born, is bringing this aerial technology or 360 immersive product to the ground and having a series of call to actions and point of interest. So that's how it began.
That's pretty awesome, man. It makes me really excited to actually see it and show it to you guys as well. So let's jump into this. What we want to do is basically talk to you a little bit about a few things here. So 25 years ago, your competitors literally were out there trying to decide if their business actually needed a website for this internet thing, right? Like people literally thought, oh, I don't need a website. What's that going to be?
Right.
20 years ago, you had the same thing, but you had that with people on, are people going to actually use their telephone to get on the internet? Well, obviously that has taken place. 5 years ago even, watching TV that was streaming from the internet or watching TV on your cell phone, totally like Jetsons technology. Nobody thought that was going to happen. But point is, as times change, so does technology. And that kind of leads us into SkyNav.
Yeah. Well, when we think of the way immersive technology has kind of evolved over the years, it actually isn't that new, even with dating back to the radio and television, where people were immersed around a box or a TV. But it's evolved into spatial marketing, XR, AR, and that's really the whole point of what SkyNav is and what it can do for you that are listening, your community, because it brings all you're going to see today, the digital assets that make up your community that are shotgun blasted all over the internet into an immersive experience. And that's what SkyNav is all about.
That's right. And that literally is the way that you as a community will be able to stay light years ahead of your other communities, your competition, and get more people to come in and join and be a part of your communities. The ability to seamlessly incorporate virtual reality into an actual website and into our tours, that was literally the most important thing for us here. We wanted to make sure that virtual reality was a part of this. So static images can show you some things, yes, they can kind of give you an idea, but they don't really give you like the look and feel. You need to have that like proximity of the way things are set up, the distances, the spatial, everything about it has to really sell your community. And a static image, not the same as actually being there. From a marketing standpoint, when you can actually share something that's this immersive with a client that lets them actually feel like they're part of it, especially, for example, attracting out-of-town visitors by showing them your area. And I don't mean a picture of it, I mean letting them be a part of your area. That's a different world. And SkyNav is giving their users the ability to control what they see and how they see it, and give them the opportunity to kind of visit your area and experience it before they've ever actually come there. And that is how we're converting so many users into visitors and turning those visitors into buys at your communities. And we're doing that, basically by giving everyone that wants to look at your community the ability to view a 24-hour open house. So I think that to kind of get this going, the best way to do this is probably to show it. What do you think?
Absolutely. I think that's usually the way that we've been able to win a lot of our clients over is just let's just show them. And just jump right in.
Literally, guys, look at that. I mean, if that's your community, come on. That is so gorgeous.
So basically what we're seeing here, this is a Lennar community. We actually recently, if you're following Inman News, we actually struck a partnership with Lennar Corporate, and this is a Lennar community outside of Charleston, South Carolina. Now, what was important for them was, as you're going to see, not even at this moment, here in a couple of minutes, we're going to get a little more in depth as to the power of all these little beacons and airplanes and things that you see here. But at a high level, Chris, I think it's important for them to understand that are listening, you that are listening, is how this works. And basically, we're going to keep it very simple. SkyNav is an HTML5 web VR product. And what that means, let's talk about the web part. As you see here, it's web-based. It's a series of 360-degree, high-quality, immersive aerial imagery. And along the way, as you're going to see, we do take you to the ground. But as you see here, you might even be able to see in the HTML URL bar, there is no app required. That's the other thing that's amazing because of the technology and the way we program it, is you might think, in fact, some people like you're mentioning, this is a web VR product, virtual reality. People get scared of that acronym. But we're here to tell you how easy it's going to be for your showrooms, for your events when you're trying to lure people into your community. Because there is no app required for people to engage in virtual reality in this aspect. In fact, let me show you. Here's how some sales offices are using SkyNav. You just see here just kind of a glancing overview of Google Cardboard products, HTC Vive, Oculus Co. I tell you what, Chris, that is a home run.
That's the
it's amazing. Yeah,
right,
well, it's so easy because it's a standalone VR headset device that does not require a mobile phone.
Right.
So everybody, again, that you're listening, that's listening, you don't have to be scared about this portion of SkyNav because it's built in, it's baked in, and we do make it very easy for people to view your community in virtual reality.
Right, and like you said, it doesn't have to be virtual reality. They can look at it on their cell phone. They can look at this and view it on their desktop. They can view your community and see what you guys were just looking at, the actual community itself. These are just another way for them to view it. This is a way for them to do the next step. So it's already above and beyond anything. But if you put them into a pair of virtual reality glasses and let them walk around your community, literally,
exactly,
they are there.
Yeah. I know everybody says it's pretty much short of scratch and sniff. We have ambient sounds. It's so real. You just have to go visit it for yourself. But this just gives another layer. So don't be scared of it. Embrace it. But like Chris was saying, let me show you this other slide. Here's another example. This is a touch screen monitor, very large monitor that a lot of our clients now are putting inside of their sales offices. So it's replacing the topography maps that were big and cumbersome. people want to have control. They want to hunt and peck. This is a Newland community in Texas, so they're utilizing this in all their showrooms. So again, cross-browser, mobile devices, tablets.
Yeah, you can even put a pair of virtual reality goggles in the showroom and have that in there for them to look at as well. But they don't have to, and that's our point. Right. They can show it to them on anything, and this thing is so beautiful and so immersive that they're going to be able to get a good feel for your community without ever having been there. But if they are there, they're not going to want to leave.
Yeah, no, that's the point. And we've been happy for the success of how SkyNav has really pushed into large-scale communities. In fact, again, if you're listening, you're a marketer of communities, you're going to really appreciate how this can be used as a very successful sales tool. And we mentioned earlier the news we've been getting. This is exciting. Lennar, as we know, is a fairly large, one of the, if not the largest home builder in the country. So they're adopting these type of technologies, and they launched it with their community there in Charleston. So we're excited about that.
Yeah, and I would say that the best way for anyone to experience this is live. So if you don't mind, let's take a look at an example tour. We're going to take a peek at our Summers Corner tour, and as you can see, SkyNav's tours are a series of 360-degree environments. So it's literally where you are. This is that community, and that's it. You kind of have an opportunity to see everything that your website shows in pictures and videos of this community, but you're now getting to see it in virtual reality. A 360-degree virtual world is now in front of you instead of just a website. So if somebody visits your website and you want to talk about your market pavilion, you have to actually tell them a story about it, or write an article, or show them a picture, or maybe a video of it, instead of letting them come in here and look at it and check it out. Total difference, completely different. So I also want to talk a little bit about all of the interactions that your tour is capable of tracking, and all of that, literally everything that's happening. If I'm clicking on something like Ty was just showing us going into that marketplace, when that happens, all of that can be tracked with Google Analytics. And speaking of analytics, I mean, do these tours work? Back up one, let's show them that. Like this thing, well, I think it's one back.
Oh, the slide.
Mm-hmm. So I want to show them that's what I want. So the proof is in the analytics, and that is true. I mean, look at these numbers, you guys. Like, nobody's coming to a website and staying there for 5 minutes. Nobody.
This, I think, is what, Chris, you hit the nail on the head. I know you come from a digital background, too.
Yes.
When you're in marketing, we didn't want to create just a shiny new object that, unfortunately, we know through the years, and as marketers for your communities, you see things come across your desk. The proof, as we've seen come in, for the clients that allow us to look at their analytics, 5 to 25 minutes on site. This equals, as you're seeing, about a 400% increase for most of our clients on their web pages. In fact, the SkyNav tour on their website is actually eclipsing some of their real estate search pages. I mean, it's that impressive. You notice the second point, 45% of SkyNav 360-degree images perform better than conventional pictures. Going back to your point about the 2D image.
It's a completely different world.
It's great, but these perform better. 300% increase click-through rate when using the tour in campaigns, digital ad campaigns, Facebook retargeting, Instagram. So we obviously could put more into this, and if you want more analytics to prove, let us know. But we're excited about this.
Absolutely, and we should be. Look at those numbers. Like I said, I could show you a zillion websites, and none of them will have an average time on site like that.
That's right.
So, as I said, the same information that you can normally display on a website, you're displaying it in a virtual world that obviously performs better than a normal website.
Yeah.
A lot of things about this are amazing, and here's some additional features that we really believe are going to stand out for you and your community. And this is the part when we start getting into this part of the tour that we really believe you'll see where you can get your ROI and prove that this is actually working. So if you got to sell this to a whole group of other people to make them want to buy it for you or get involved, this is how you do it, right? You show them these things. You show them that you have the ability to add videos, anything that you have literally on a website, you can put it in here and have it inside of a 360-degree virtual world. And you can see all of the things that are on the screen, but now let's kind of show you a few of them because it's easier to see what we're talking about here. So, yeah, please do.
So these are little picture image beacons. We call them info spots. And as you see here, that they're dotted throughout whatever community layout you want. What we storyboard it this way to make sure it fits with your business objectives. But take a look at here. We all know about Matterport. So to get that additional layer of immersive feel, Chris, so many people, including, believe it or not, Matterport, we've been in discussions with Matterport Corporate because they're amazed that we're using air to ground and going right inside of these homes to make a seamless experience. So along the way, that's where we're trying to take every advantage of any immersive product that's already existing. And as you see here, that's what we've done.
And we can tie into pretty much anything, correct?
Absolutely. Anything that's HTML. I mean, webcams, like you mentioned, these are all call to actions we want to lure people in. If you have a video from YouTube, Vimeo, those are already existing assets. And the power of this, Chris, and for those, again, you listening, is that we can place these assets at exactly the precise area in your community that they live and exist, versus this could be in a blog post or this could be in a page buried into your website. But how powerful would it be to see this actually?
Marks are important as a foundation of Summer's Corner because it...
Well, we get the idea, right?
Correct. And you can put these videos of anything, anywhere, and like you just said, I didn't even think about that before, but honestly, that's a huge advantage. You've got all of these pieces of marketing and materials that you've already paid for, you've already created. You don't want to just not get the opportunity to use them. You literally can add everything that you've already created and put it inside of a real world tour. It's amazing.
Thus, the reason why 5 to 25 minutes, because people, they go here, they're like, I want to live in this street. Or what's this swimming pool icon? Oh my gosh, this is a really cool pool, right? Again, I don't know if you pointed out the navigation that comes with it.
No, let's talk to them a little bit about that, because the navigation, I think, is a really important part that makes it easy user-wise for anyone can figure this side. They can figure it out the way we were showing you, but there's also a couple of other easy ways. So
yeah, so it's built very similar to a website, and the user interface. We've done a lot of studying this after a year and a half of building SkyNav to make it simple.
Yeah.
Very simple, because the demographics of people we know, there are a lot of communities of our clients in California that are millennials, but 55 and over are still a big target.
Certainly.
So making it simple, like as you see this navigation, you can fly right to the school if you have a school in your area. Hopping back out allows you to also keep track of where you've been. That's why you see the check marks there. But again, this is just the layout. A lot of clients like proximity to the nearest city. Well, here's a city that's, about 15, I think, as you see on their screen, 6.8 miles away. See, it's not too far. But again, if that's important for you.
And we could show any other features like that. If there's some, like another large tourist attraction or some, really cool venue that's also nearby your community, we can add proximity locations like Ty just showed you and fly right to them so that you can show communities and visitors to your community, here's also what else the reason why you should be living here, and check out how close it is.
Yeah, and that's important. I think you would agree as marketers, because one of the Achilles heel, Chris, in this tour was, since this is outside of Charleston, the marketing people of this Lennar community said people don't grasp where this community is in relation to Charleston.
You think it's way too far.
Right. So now when we put these proximity markers and we show them the beauty of this, it's not just 20 minutes outside of Charleston, it blows them away.
Right.
So again, just getting back to the features of the tour, Google Maps is included, and this particular client wanted a little extra features on Google Maps, as you see here. I'll show you. They really went out because they wanted to make sure people understood the whole proximity, the lay of the land, future growth. You
can see where they have new phases coming in, where they're going to be growing the community.
Right. And you can't do that on Google Maps. Sorry.
No.
Sorry, Okay, so if you want to go old school,
Well, this is what I was hoping you were going to show them. I think this is cool because a lot of old people, older folks don't want to use technology, so to speak, but this gives them the way to look at an old school map and still actually use it in a modern way that's simple and easy for them to use. I can, instead of looking at this map and knowing, oh, that's what this is, I can click on it and go to it.
right?
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Like, that's nuts.
Well,
Click on something, just show.
And typically, well, yeah, we like to click on things, right? But that's important, and we wanted to make sure, again, we built in features that would appeal to every age, every user experience is different. So, and as you see, you go right to that spot. Now, this map, typically, as you were bringing out, Chris, is usually what we see on every client's website, but we don't see the hot map.
Mhm.
We actually have coded this with hotspots. Again, we want to click through.
Right.
And again, we have the basic follow, share us on social media. Again, that's very critical too. We want people to share this tour. So that's kind of I guess you could say the good overview of the different features. There's a lot more that we could add to this. We mentioned Matterport, but GeoCV.
Is this the one that has the ambient sound? Can you go back to that really quick?
Yep.
So I know that we kind of briefly touched on that, but I want to at least show you. You have the ability, if you want to really make it look and feel be there, I mean, you can hear the fire, the conversations happening in the background. We can do this for any spot. Add in ambient sounds, add in, people, you want to have them make sure that feels alive. And a lot of people in the communities actually want to be a part of this.
Since you brought up the ambient sound, again, what was very important for us was to bring in elements that would, like you mentioned, imagine people are living there. Imagine this is your dog park. You can bring your dogs. I mean, the imagery is so immersive that
it really does. And so the kind of the point for me, the first time that I saw this, what really blows me away about it is that it looks like this on a computer, on a cell phone. You can't even imagine what this looks like in a virtual reality device. But at the same time, you don't even need it. Like, it's literally, it's so awesome that you don't need the virtual reality device. It's just available to have it to make it even more awesome.
Right. That's the truth.
And so, I know I get a little excited about this, guys, but obviously it's because I do believe in this product, and I know that it's working so well for so many communities around the country. We would love the opportunity to talk with you about this, and if we didn't say so earlier, by all means, please, if you have questions, enter them into the chat box. We'll be checking them every day. We want to make sure that everyone who is interested in this gets someone to speak with them. But please bear with us. This technology is new, but it's in very high demand, and we are struggling to an extent to keep up with all of the communities that want us to come and talk with them about putting this in place for them and how it can work for their community. But we, like I said, at least wanted to have this available so that you see it. You see what's available. You see how this works. We want to talk with you more on it and how it can work specifically for your community. But you get the idea. This is amazing that it's even available.
Yeah, and like you said, I think it's a good point, is every community size, breadth is always going to be different. We've created communities as small as, maybe, a couple hundred homes. So just because it looks like the scope of like some of these tours you're going to see on our portfolio, pretty large, but we can pretty much adapt to your budget. And that's why this guy right here is here. He's going to help you figure that out.
Yep, narrow down what we can do and how we can make your tour successful. That's always our goal. Even if there's less things, less area to cover, we still want it to be successful for you, and end goal to make a beautiful tour that anyone who visits your community is going to want to be a part of it.
Yeah. One last thing. I know you're going to get to their FAQ, but this also, notice your contact. That's very important again.
Yeah.
So lead generation, we can build these right into each of the tour pages. every page could have their own respective contact form.
Right, and if you have a home that you're trying to specifically get rid of, like Ty showed you, you could fly in and actually have someone see where it's at in there, then fly in, look through the entire tour of that home in particular, and have a lead generation form. If they're interested in seeing more or talking to you about that home, you can have them fill it out right there.
Right.
It's literally, like we said before, anything you can do on a website, you can do it here. The only difference is on a website, it's static image, it's kind of boring and people get lost, and here they can't leave. They literally can't get out of your community. They're stuck there because they want to see more, they want to understand it, they want to be a part of it and live there once they've gotten in there. If they're excited about your area and they see your community like this, they're coming.
Game over.
That's right, game over. All right, so I do want to touch on a couple of FAQs. It's always things that we get asked, and we wanted to keep this to a short 30-minute, so we're right at it, we'll be good. Basically, one of the biggest ones that you get asked mostly, not even myself, but do they get to keep these assets? Do we create it? Do they own it?
Right, and that is the beauty of, we made a decision early on that there are a lot of different models of different types of software or imagery, but you as a client will own all this imagery. So whether it's ground 360 imagery, aerial, you own it. Obviously, the other assets are yours, but you can then take those assets, use them. I mean, they're such high quality, especially the aerials. Our clients are using these on billboard advertisements, trade shows, social media. So you will own this. You will own all the assets.
And how about, like, once that they've paid for it, they buy the tour, they have this, it's all set up, it's finished. What kind of ongoing costs are there?
Well, again, the tour, once they buy into the tour, they own it.
Okay.
And we want it that way because ownership is critical. We do host it because that way, I think you would agree that there's a lot of software there that if we don't maintain it, we don't have updates, browsers change, iOS, Android, things just adjust over a year. So having us be able to host it, we have quick access to make these edits.
What kind of hosting?
So it's like
charges?
$250 a year.
So very, very, very inexpensive. Heck, hosting for a website can cost you more than that.
Right.
Truly. And other than that, is there any other, charges for editing or?
There are, if let's say you have a change in one of these areas where you want to swap out a Matterport or information beacon, something changed, the cost is minimal. It's generally $75 to $100 per edit. It's very minimal. And again, it's seamless. Usually it's done in 30 minutes to an hour.
What if they changed an area inside of their community, changed, just that one particular area, something major changed, and they want to shoot a new scene from that area? Is that possible?
Oh yeah. Again, that's the beauty of this product is think of this as like a website. So if you have a 20-page website and you want to adjust one page, something's changed, you change that one page.
Gotcha.
You don't have to reinvest in the whole tour. We just simply have partnerships all over the country that we can refly, if it's aerial, just that one spot and reprogram the beacon to do that.
Perfect.
Or same with the ground.
Perfect. All right, how about mobile? Does it cause any issues I think I've already kind of covered it because mobile, it's I think it's amazing that I can get on my phone and look at all of these different areas and communities and go through. I mean, I feel like I've literally visited all of these places, and I've only been to a few of them. That's crazy. Yeah. That's nuts.
Well, and again, the crossover into mobile, since it's HTML5, it's seamless. There are no SEO impact negative. So the mobile version, the tablet version, if you want to know the truth, Chris, for you that are listening, is almost as maybe more amazing than the desktop.
Yeah.
I mean, the colors are just brilliant, and when you're able to use your fingers or mouse, you are in control. But the mobile version is amazing.
Agreed. How long is it going to take to make these? So you guys come to us, you say, hey, we want to work with you. We come up with the concept that you want to create for your community, all of the different assets that we want to add into it to make it a really, really amazing tour. How long is that going to take?
6 to 10 weeks. Yeah, maybe 4 days on ground to do the production. It's a fun time. People in the community come out, get their assistance, but then we go back and production's about 6 to 2 weeks. A lot of it's going to depend on you as the client and how much time you
And information that they want to put in and things of that nature.
correct.
Sorry about that. We're live, like we told you. So, also, that's pretty much the main questions, right? Like, I mean, can you think of
Yeah.
any other ones that I didn't cover there?
No, I think that's pretty thorough coverage. I know there's probably a lot more, but we don't want to. 30
Yeah.
minutes. We live in an ADD society, so if you have any questions, like Chris said, we want to hear them.
Yes, thank you very much. We definitely do. Thank you for taking the time out of your schedule. This guy is crazy busy. Like, it is impossible to ever find him, get a hold of him. So getting him in the room to do this webinar so that we can actually have a live event for you to see this product with the owner, the CEO that put this together, the ideas, that's pretty awesome. And we may not be on here live, like we said, but please give us all the questions and or reach out to us directly. I think we have our emails pop up on here, so you can just email me directly. It's simple. It's just Chris, CHRIS, at SkyNav360.com. So SKYNAV360, the numbers.com. So Chris at SkyNav360.com. Email me if you have questions directly, and we will get back with you as soon as we can. Thanks, guys.
All right, everybody, take care.